Hey guys, it's RJ the Fed. We're back with our bracket. We're halfway through the first rounds. We're going to try to power through the second half and see if we can make it to at least get through the first round. I mean, we got 20 bottles in one sitting, so we took a little bit of a short break. We're back. We got 2 bottles. We got Early Times Bottled in Bonds, and we got a Laws 4-grain straight bourbon bonded. So excited. We'll put, I guess this one is A and this will be B. This is going to be a fresh crack, so I'm going to let Tyler struggle with that.
Gee, thanks.
And I'm going to pour this one up.
What would you say our worst and best bottles are so far?
Worst and best. Man, we have some pretty bad losers. I don't know about worst, but probably the best. We got a winner's box over here, and I think I like that Ben Holiday probably the best out of the winner's bracket. Jack Daniels was pretty good, but it was just very thin.
Yeah, for the losers, I might have been Old Granddad.
Let me get your A glass for your Early Times pour.
All right, let me see if I can open this up. Oh man, I don't see any preparations on this one.
I like Early Times Bottled in Bonds. So that'll be glass A will be Early Times Bottled in Bonds. So there's your A.
Go for it. I'd already twisted his own, so.
Very loose.
That's what.
Gonna have to just eyeball it and pour it slowly. That is what she said. He said, never mind, I'll finish it for him. Let me get your B, and I'll pour up your B glass.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I guess I'm affected by alcohol a little bit now, huh?
A little
I'm a
inebriated.
little bit slow to react, at least.
And we're only halfway through. Got 10 more bottles to go. Hey, at least we're not drinking high proof, guys. We're only drinking 100 proof. The amount of 100 proof whiskey we have consumed. So this will be glass B, the Laws 4-grain straight bourbon bonded. I'm excited because I'll be honest, I have not tried any Laws product before. I have, I think, a couple samples, but I don't think I've tried them yet.
Well,
I'm gonna start with B because I've never had it. I'm pretty familiar with Early Times Bottled in Bond, which I really like the color of that. By the way, it's like a dark red almost. Got the cat coming over to see what's up. Maybe she can come drink some whiskey with us.
the nose is decent.
I do like the nose on that. That's pretty good, actually.
I'm getting some oakiness,
A little bit,
but it's not too much.
yeah, it's not burning the nose hairs with the oak.
Definitely some light fruits on the front of it too.
Yeah. I like the smell of that.
It's a very balanced smell. You can get the grain at this. I can get the grain at the end of this front palate and at the start of the mid palate.
I got it at the very beginning. A lot of oakiness too. Very oaky. I can see why this would be desirable and definitely a bottle worth getting, but I have a feeling based off of my track record on what I've tried and liked, I don't know if this is going to rank up there above Early Times Bottled in Bond for flavor profile. I like the uniqueness on this. I think this has potential. I think it needs more time to open up because it's a fresh crack. I like this though.
It's definitely like a craft. Like you can tell, it's like a craft whiskey, right? It is. They do it all in house. Looks like so, but you can tell has that grainy. I wouldn't say young because it's 8 years, right?
Minimum 4.
Well, I think on the neck it says aged 8 years. But yeah,
it doesn't drink like an 8-year whiskey though. I figured it'd be more smooth, more well-rounded.
I think it's because it's a 4-grain. I think the 4-grain really just makes it a little bit rougher. I would say.
It's not bad. I just think it needs more time to open up, and I just think it's very, very harsh.
It was a fresh crack, also.
Yeah, that's why I was saying. I think it needs more time to open up.
Apple?
I just love early times bottled and bond.
Is that apple? I think I made an apple.
I get apple. I get cherry. Oh, this is just freaking good on the nose. Like I could snip this all day long. A $20 bottle. So I don't know what you guys can get for early times bottled and bond in your area, but for us, when it's in stock, it's $20.49 before taxes at Specs. It's not the most well-rounded bottle. Like it's not the smoothest bottle for what it is, but for the price point, it is damn near tough to beat. It's competing against a bottle that is way out of its price range too, and I think they both have their uniqueness, and I like both of them for different reasons. And I think this is gonna be a tough one to call a winner. I'm gonna have to go back to the laws and try the laws again because this is tough. The Laws is just a little too oaky. It's very grainy, obviously 4 grain, but it's very oaky. I don't get like any really floral notes on it either. You know what it is? I think I get a black tea note. Like it tastes like a black tea.
Or maybe a licorice.
Licorice, maybe licorice. It has like almost like a coffee note too. I get like a black tea coffee note.
I'm not going to rave home about either one of these pours. Early Times is amazing for the price, like always.
But there's way better bottles out if you just jump up the price by a little bit more.
And then for B, for the laws, there's a lot of complexity on the palate, but I don't know if it's the type of complexity I'm looking for. I don't know if it's the type of notes that I really look for.
I'll be honest, guys, and this might be my take on it. I don't like coffee and I don't like black tea, and those are 2 notes that I'm getting on the laws. And I think for that reason that's going to be the reason why I'm not going to push this one to the next round unless Tyler wants to vote it in as the primary. I think Early Times does well for, like he said, in the price range. It performs very well. But when you stop factoring price and just do it straight up head-to-head against any other bottle, it's tough to say that it'll outperform a lot of those bottles. I think it's great for what it is, but I don't think it excels at anything. It's just good at everything.
If you gave me these 2 whiskeys, this is how I'm going to decide this right now, if you want to agree with it. If you gave me these 2 whiskey bottles and you said, this is all the bourbon you can drink, and you got to drink them within the next month, I would definitely finish the Early Times before I finished the laws.
I'm liking the finish on the laws, like the longer because I kept quite a bit of it, so I've been sipping on it and let it sit. I'm getting a orange peel on the very long far end of the finish. It's like a citrus orange note, but it's covered behind this like coffee black tea note. Does it have tasting notes on the Laws bottle? I've never had the Laws before.
No, I don't think so.
The special offering of our 4 grain is the first bonded bourbon in Colorado history. So Colorado, I didn't know where Laws was made. I assumed Colorado, but I wasn't sure. True to the Bottled and Bond Act in 1897, this bourbon is at least 4 years old. Its age stated 8 years on the neck of the bottle. Entirely in our federally bonded rack house, bottled at 100 proof, we find this bourbon deeply complex with floral aromas and flavors of black tea, honey, orange peel, baked plums, and coffee cake, leading to a lingering sweet cinnamon finish.
So you're pretty much right. I didn't get cinnamon on it.
I didn't get cinnamon at all, but I got a black tea flavor for sure. Like at first I was like, what is this weirdness? And you kept saying 4 grain. I'm like, 4 grain, yeah, it's pretty grainy. I didn't think, herbal like the tea and black tea is specifically the flavor. I remember getting a black tea when I was at the airport probably like a month or 2 months ago, and I almost said like yuck because it was so freaking bad, but I needed the caffeine. I wanted low calories, so that's why I picked it, and I think that's why I don't like it. The orange peel, it's funny, I didn't really get any of that till the very end. It's like I'm done with the glass now.
What's interesting to me is
I don't really get the orange peel. I get the coffee note, but I don't get like a coffee cake. I get a coffee note and that black tea note. So it's funny that I picked that out on there, but I was kind of curious on that.
No, I guess I never had black tea, so I wouldn't know.
I don't like it.
I guess that's why I said black licorice.
I don't think this one has tasting notes, but because it's Sazerac, it's good. I mean, Brown Forman, but Sazerac distributes now. I think next year it'll be actual, like the juices change. It's a blend that's supposed to be replicating the Brown Forman product. I think next year it'll start coming out and it'll be Sazerac. It'll be made by Buffalo Trace. They're actually making their own distillate now.
The only thing I have to complain about the early times is that it's like, again, it's, you know, with these
cheap $20 bottle.
Yeah, with those
not very well rounded.
With those, it's like a one trick pony.
Yeah.
But what it does well. So I don't know, man. This one's a really hard. I've been drinking also, so this one's kind of really hard for me to like. The laws is in a league of its own as far as like how it tastes.
I'm going to pick the Early Times Bottled and Bond and the qualifying statement on that because you guys might have a different opinion, and I know that might screw the brackets up. I wouldn't say to sleep on it or not buy the bonded for the laws. Just understand that I don't like black tea, and this has a black tea note. I don't like coffee. This has a coffee note. If that's up your alley, this is probably a pretty good bottle, even for the price point. And it's bottled and bonded at 8 years, so 4 years is minimum for that Bottled and Bond Act. This is 8 years, so this is getting up there with like Henry McKenna on that 10 years. So I think it's probably a fantastic bottle. It just doesn't match the flavor profile of what I like. So for that reason, I'm going to pick the Early Times. But I'm not going to sit here and undercut or underwrite that this Laws is probably pretty good. Even the bonded series, because they have a whole bunch of lineups too. Like you have an experimental you're looking at, and like a honey finished one.
Yeah, I've got an experimental that's what is it? It's Cabernet, finished in Cabernet.
So I'm sure their offerings are good. As long as we can get away from that black tea note, I would have ranked this one higher.
Yeah,
you don't have to agree if you don't want to. I don't like black tea.
I can't pick the Laws to win just because, again, like I said, if I had to choose one of these two to drink, I would always drink Early Times first. So
we're gonna go with Early Times Bottled and Bond as the winner. A very tough decision. I know it didn't seem that tough for us to make, but I wanted to at least qualify why I didn't like this because it's not that it's bad, it just doesn't fit the flavor profile that I prefer. So for that reason, Early Times is moving on to the next rounds. We've got 4 more rounds for this first round, and we'll see you guys for the next one.